𝗕𝗊𝗍 is something we don't see spoken about much in the space, and after yesterday's AMA with our members, I thought, you know what, let's cover off a little bit of 𝗕𝗊𝗍 here at Cheeky Crypto Uncensored. When we look at that weekly time frame, well, we can see the previous descending channel that we were kind of watching here for 𝗕𝗊𝗍. Well, we have seen the price break on out from here. We have seen us bounce off of equilibrium, you know, finding quite a good level, but we can see that we are coming up to our first area of support that we may look to find as rejection. When we come down to the daily time frame, well, we can see moving up in that yellow C wave pattern. You know, we were targeting out the move here to around about $120, a higher level of 149, where once again we can see that area of resistance that we're looking to, you know, try and push through here on that daily time frame. And of course, on the lower time frames, the 4 hour in particular here, we can see moving up in this Y wave. Well, we have now hit that 1.32 Fibonacci level, giving us the idea we may have a little bit more in the tank here for the price action of 𝗕𝗊𝗍. So let's dive into all things 𝗕𝗊𝗍, see where the price is likely to go. But first of all, run the intro. Welcome back to Cheeky Crypto Uncensored, guys. I am JB. Let's have a look at the price action of 𝗕𝗊𝗍. It's not something you know it's all spoken about all too much here, so let's dive into this one, and we will of course start over here on the daily time frame, so we really understand, you know, the move that we are looking at playing out here. So this move from the bear market low of $45.60, we are looking at this just now as a big corrective pattern here. We can obviously see the A, B, and C structure, where overall we could be targeting this move to $120.11 and $149.65, that being the 1-to-1 to the 1.236 Fibonacci levels. And this move to the upside, we can see, you know, it's nesting, in my opinion, some very corrective structures. So up in this C wave, we have this move over here to start with. We will come back to this one. But this current move that's playing out here, I see this as a WX, Y, X, and Z. The target area for this one between $104.45 and the higher level here of $131.74. We have seen that price coming up into here. If we really zoom into this one, but we can see we have filled just shy of that C wave target area right on here. We did see the price push up to $119 exactly on this Binance daily chart. So there is potentially still another move to the upside to come here for 𝗕𝗊𝗍 in this Z wave overall. Looking for us really to come up here and test at that $124 level. When we look at the stochastic positioning, well, we can see that the 4 hour and the 8 hour are oversold. When we really drag this one open, yes, we can see that the RSI, sorry, the stochastic RSI in yellow here has dropped lower than the average, which technically is a bearish sign. But in my opinion, this is just looking for a correction in the stochastic before we do see, you know, another explosion to the upside or another move to the upside for the price action of 𝗕𝗊𝗍 here on this daily chart. Well, what we can also see going on here is a move down, testing out the 50 SMA in green here, perhaps the 50 EMA, but what is quite notable here we can see most recently is the EMAs, the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA here acting as, you know, an area of good support for 𝗕𝗊𝗍's price action, as you know, we can see the stochastic starting to reset. So in my opinion, another move to the upside is most likely to come for 𝗕𝗊𝗍. When we drop down to the 4 hourly time frame, well, yes, we can see, you know, this is not the most favorable chart here for Elliott wave theory. We can see these long wicks, you know, really start to mess up structures and make it incredibly hard to piece these ones together. But overall, in this Y wave in itself, well, I'm looking at this as a bigger WXY, X, and Z. And we can actually do the measurements of this one. We can take this wick high over here. Well, we will try and take this wick high here, and we can bring it over to our wick low here, which we know is the origin of this push to the upside. And we can bring it over to our next low point right on here, which obviously we're looking at being the X wave. And we can see that the 1.32 level was smashed through here, not quite hitting the 1.618 on this push to the upside. This candle body this candle wick right on here, pushing up to $110 exactly. We can see the impulsive level at the $111. So we know that we never met that requirement for the, you know, the continued push to the upside here for 𝗕𝗊𝗍. So overall, we know that this is just a big, long, drawn out corrective move to the upside. And of course, we can target out these possible moves. We can get some areas that we will look for the price to push on up to. So we'll take that 100% move of the initial W wave. Let's just double check we have took that the correct move. Yes, we have. Bring it over to this next wick low right on in here at $82.81, and we can really target out this internal Y wave count. Looking at this one to push on between the 0.618 fib level here at $104.45. Let's just get that one on there, and the 1.236 at $131.75. Now we have that one nailed on. Everything is looking pretty good here. And yeah, much like obviously the higher time frames, we can see the overlap here now between the C wave or the Y wave and the Z wave target area, where we are falling just shy of pushing into that target area on the Z wave. I do think, we could still potentially have another push to the upside to come for 𝗕𝗓𝗊. In that move in itself, once again, it is a very corrective, choppy structure, but we could be looking at this as a bigger A, B, and C. And then internally here, a bigger A, B, and C still to play out. With the time frames positioned as they are, we can obviously see the 4-hour time frame. Well, let's drag this one straight in. The yellow line being the stochastic RSI is looking to spike above the mean or the average line. So in my opinion, we are looking for that next push to the upside to come here for 𝗕𝗊𝗊, especially down here on that 4-hour time frame. Yeah, everything's looking pretty sweet so far. It's been a fantastic move to the upside. I do, look for this one to continue it a little bit more. But we did briefly touch on this on the daily time frame, the retest of the $124.10 level. This, of course, coming all the way back here on this little push to the upside as we're continuing the bear market to the downside. This would be the first test point, in my opinion, for good resistance. Now, of course, we could have argued that we came over here at this A wave high point at the $115.80 level. However, the structure we were obviously looking to come up here would be this C wave within itself. This would have been the minimum expectation for here. We have seen it push on through, so that's really good to see that we have confirmation of the C wave bypassing the A wave high, obviously. So yes, our first test point will be this $124 level. We can see the price is not overly far from there. We have seen a current high of $119 right on in here. So yes, we're not too far from testing out that level. It's going to be very interesting to see if we can break on through. Now, of course, if we did see rejection from here, we would know that that was the completed move for this C wave. We could look at the next few points here. Let's actually move up a time frame. Let's go over to the weekly chart, where we can see we can see these test points. We've actually missed one out here on this weekly chart. Yeah, we'll stick on the daily. Apologies for that one. We can see the next high point all the way back here from the 6th of May, around about $162 will be an interesting test point, as will $198. We can just see these being wick highs on the charts. I do think these are going to offer up some very firm resistances on these moves. And of course, we could also look at this one back here. We've actually pushed on through there, so that's not a concern. Perhaps over here, yes, we could actually draw this little box on, guys. Right on in here. If we were just to drag this one all the way over, this should actually be up here. There we go. We could actually look at this as an area of previous support turn resistance for 𝗕𝗊𝗊. So we'll just leave this one also drawn onto the charts. So this was a wick down to the downside here over on the 24th of January 2022. And of course, this push to the upside here on the 30th of May 2022. So we could be looking at this as an area of support turn resistance. It's not really a strong one in my opinion, as we did really push on through that in this drop to the downside. If we were just to drag this right across the charts, it doesn't really hold up in my opinion. We can see a bit of resistance here from the 5th of January 2021, but it's not really a strong area in my opinion. We could see this one just, really pushed through without an issue. But of course, we do have that lower level 124, so we can see some resistances or potential resistances on the charts here for 𝗕𝗊𝗊. Now, of course, on the weekly time frame, the last time we did a video on this, we were looking at this descending wedge or descending channel, however it is you want to look to the downside, where we were obviously looking for a potential continuation. That C wave, the white C wave target area between $41.40 and $34.08, but we can see we fell short of the typical area. We fell down at 47.30. That was obviously the low we did see here, and of course the minimum expectation was $50.20, that A wave origin. So overall we can conclude that that move within itself is complete. We also met our area of target here for the Z wave. Did we actually do that here? Yes, we did. So we could have had a bit of a corrective move to the downside overall here for 𝗕𝗊𝗍. It actually looks like we had a very short Z wave right here. Let's just really pull this one away from what we're looking at. There we go. And we'll clear off some of this noise. So we had this corrective move to the downside, bottoming out here at 47.30. Of course, our bear market bottom was all the way back here at 45.60. So this push to the upside, we know on the hourly time frame, we're looking at this as a bigger A, B and C structure, looking to break on through that $124.10 level. Yeah, everything's looking pretty sweet so far for 𝗕𝗊𝗍. We have now broke through the 50 SMA in green, the 50 SMA in red, turning the SMA into support, which I think is vitally important for the price action of 𝗕𝗊𝗍. A retest of equilibrium soon to come. I do think that may be the case on that next pullback. Could we see a dramatic pullback for 𝗕𝗊𝗍? Will we retest that bottom? A 50% pullback? It's potential. We could see that happen. I don't think it's the likely case. Of course, smart money concept here is very undecisive on the macro time frame for 𝗕𝗊𝗍, with it being, you know, a bit of a newer project in the space. A week low and a week high, so it's undecided on where it's potentially going to go. How much data 2020? You would like to think we would have a more decisive view of what's going on. Failing to break that $124 level, well, we could actually look at this as a bigger A, B and C, and we could retest there. I don't expect that to happen. No, time will tell, and we will cover that, of course, if we do see that level broken. But on a push to the upside, we can look at some certain areas to be targeted out for 𝗕𝗊𝗍. The $261 level, that previous wick high we've seen here on the 28th of March, I think is a very interesting level, as is the $459, that X wave high we have here back on the 25th of October 2021. Very interesting to see if 𝗕𝗊𝗍 can push itself back up from there, taking it from its current market price. You know, the lower levels, just 172% move to the upside. That upper one of $459 is just a 374%. And of course, the upper, the top here for 𝗕𝗊𝗍 back on the 17th of May 2021, which is obviously the all-time high for 𝗕𝗊𝗍, it's just a 600% push. So potentially, I do think we will see 𝗕𝗊𝗍 reach a new all-time high in the bullish market. What we can see though on this weekly time frame, that the stochastic is looking for a continued correction. We can see the stock now dropping below the midline, so we could see this one carry on down to the downside, however far it does want to go. We can of course see how volatile the stochastic can be, but we could see this one correct on down. We can see the weekly has come out of the overbought, the monthly is still overbought, the daily, you know, we already know what the daily is doing. So yeah, 𝗕𝗊𝗍 is in a very good position in my opinion. It's been very well protected on the moves that we have seen playing out. So yeah, overall 𝗕𝗊𝗍 is looking good, and I will leave that one there for today, guys. Let us know your thoughts on 𝗕𝗊𝗍, everything you know what's going on. If you're investing in there, if you want to have more coverage of 𝗕𝗊𝗍 on the channel, do let us know in the comments down below. It's the weekend, of course, guys. I do hope you all have a fantastic weekend, relaxed, chilled out. It's Christmas as well, so Merry Christmas when it does come. If you are going to trade, please do trade safely. Have a nice tight stop loss, make some great gains, stay safe in the space, and until next time, have a very nice day.